I'm Ioannis Arkalakis, and I'm from Greece. I'm working at Technical University of Crete, and today I will be discussing a recently added feature in Play Store, the Android's data safety section. This research was conducted in collaboration with the following partners from University of Illinois at Chicago and Cyprus University of Technology. Nowadays, the majority of people are using Android devices, so it is crucial to ensure their data privacy and secure the access control. Permission mechanism is one way of securing the access control, and considerable work has been put into this part. For example, in earlier versions of Android, users have to grant all the permissions at installation time. Later versions enable users to accept or decline the requested permissions at runtime. All these permissions are located in permission list, and you can easily find it in Play Store. However, it was really difficult for users only with the permission system to identify if their data will be accessed. So Google decided to integrate a new feature in Play Store, the Android's data safety section. This new feature provides information about which data are going to be collected and which data are going to be shared with other third parties. At the beginning, Google believing that data safety section was sufficient, yes, and they replaced the permission list with the data safety section. But they reinstated permission list because of community pushbacks showed that permission list was actually useful. So now both permission list and data safety section coexist together in Play Store. Also, Google mandates from developers to have an accurate data safety section after July 2022. To help developers to complete the data safety section, Google provides some guidelines and documentations, but there are some relaxed policies that enable developers to avoid to disclose all the data in the data safety section, creating loopholes, as was also noted by Mozilla study. For example, there is no need to disclose the data as collected if the data is only processed locally, or if it's sent off the user's device encrypted, or if it's transmitted off device but only proceeded ephemerally. Also, there is no need to disclose a data as shared if the data is transferred to a service provider, or if the data is transferred fully anonymized. Or, interestingly, if the data is disclosed in the app through a runtime consent dialog. A runtime consent dialog now, it's a form that appears at runtime of the application, and it's like a GDPR banner, providing information about what data are going to be accessed and what data are going to be shared. And it has its own policies. For example, a runtime consent dialog have to be clear and transparent, must require affirmative user action, and must be granted by the user before the app starts its data collection. So here's an example on the left, of a runtime consent dialog, and the corresponding data safety section on the right. And as you can see, the runtime consent dialog informs the user that will share the location, the personal info, and the device IDs. And on the other hand, data safety section mentions that the app doesn't share any user data with other third parties, confusing the users to identify if their data will be shared or not. But the goal of data safety section is to provide a better way for users to understand if their data is accessed or shared, and not to confuse them more. The same confusion exists for developers as well, since Google's choice make them responsible for data safety section places them in a difficult situation because of their lack of knowledge in data privacy and, and mandates from them to be honest of what they disclose in data safety section. This lack of knowledge, together with the loopholes, allow data gathering without any disclosure. And finally, the apps embed third-party libraries to enhance and enrich their functionality, but developers are not fully aware about the data that the libraries collect. So how accurate is the information included in the data safety section compared to the app's runtime behavior? To analyze now the app's runtime behavior, we develop a dynamic analysis framework and a pipeline that automatically identifies discrepancies between data safety section and app's runtime behavior. We consider as a discrepancy any case where the data is collected or shared and is not disclosed in the data safety section. So our framework first installs the application, then traverses the application, monitoring API functions using a tool called Reaper, and monitoring the network traffic using Meetme proxy to identify the shared values. So we extend the list of functions that Reaper monitors by adding permission-protected functions and by adding functions that, return personal information. An important aspect of our framework, and you can see it, is that can identify runtime consent dialogues. And if it finds one, it analyzes the application in 3 scenarios. First, by accepting the runtime consent dialog and then traverses the app. Second, by rejecting the app's runtime consent dialog and then traverses the app again. And for the third scenario, we found some cases where the reject button was not found in the app's runtime consent dialog, or when we press the reject button, the app exited. So for the third scenario, we do not perform any other action. Then we gather and compare the logs with the data safety section. To achieve that, we manually map functions to the corresponding data safety labels that we had crawled from Play Store, according to relative permissions and documentations of the functions, and according to data safety documentations. In other words, we bridge the semantic gap for identifying which label corresponds to which function. Then we identify the discrepancies between data safety section and apps runtime behavior. In our framework, we analyze our dataset that consists almost of 5,000 unique applications from Play Store. We selected those applications from 20 categories by taking 250 applications per each category. Our experiments span across 4 different time periods between September 2022 and September 2023. In September 2022, we conducted a preliminary experiment that motivated us to continue our research. We overall ran more than 20,000 app executions. And surprisingly, we found that 80% of applications had at least one discrepancy for all these 3 months. Specifically, we found 69% of applications having discrepancies in data collected, and 43% of applications had discrepancies in data shared. So as you can see, the percentage of discrepancies is consistent regardless the month. And here are some examples of apps with, with discrepancies. The first one is a known messaging app that calls getLastLocation without the location label. The second one, a poker game, calls getLine1number without the phone number label. And the last one, a sport game, calls getSSID without the device or other IDs label. So Android data safety section contains inaccuracies and cannot be trusted. Even cautious users will be misled about what data are going to be collected and what data are going to be shared. So let's see now how compliant are these apps in order to avoid those discrepancies. For determining the compliance, we identify which labels each app have to disclose in the data safety section based on the app's runtime behavior in order to avoid those discrepancies. And as you can see, the 19% of applications are fully compliant, while the 14% of applications appear to be fully non-compliant, which means that any data that the app collects or shares are not disclosed in the data safety section. Finally, the remaining 67% of applications have declared some information. In other words, developers attempt to disclose the data safety section, failing to reach full accuracy, thanks to these relaxed policies or loopholes that enable developers to avoid to disclose all this data in the data safety section. So as we said in our methodology, we analyzed our dataset with regards to apps runtime consent dialog. And remarkably, we found that 78% of applications with runtime consent do not respect the user's choice concerning collecting and sharing data. To break it down, we found applications that share and collect data, even if we press the reject button in runtime consent, or even if we do not perform any action. For example, when the reject button was not found, or when we press the reject button and the app exited. And of course, this is runtime consent violation according to Google policies. Also, we analyzed our dataset across 4 different time periods, and surprisingly, we found discrepancies in more than 3,000 applications remained the same between March 2023 and June 2023, and only 81 applications corrected their discrepancies between these 2 months. Additionally, we found applications with correct data safety section in March 2023, but 6 months later, in September 2023, the same applications contain discrepancies. So these results indicate confusion between developers, and Google should provide better guidelines and enforce penalties for apps that fail to comply. For the data share part now, we found that 43% of applications share data to random domains without having the disclosed in the data safety section, data like advertising ID, SSID, email, location, and more. Also, we found that some applications send data to domains over HTTP, even though in their data safety section mentions that they send data over a secure connection. Therefore, users may never find out that their data will be sent to random domains, and in some cases, in not a secure way over HTTP. So who is responsible of all these discrepancies? Concerning the origin of discrepancies, we found that 60% discrepancies originate from third-party libraries. Specifically, 26% of discrepancies originate only from third-party libraries, while the 12% of discrepancies originate only from first-party. Hence, we can imply that third-party libraries play a really significant role in those discrepancies. An interesting finding is that we found that popular apps with more than 500 million downloads, having discrepancies too, in categories like social media, messaging apps, mobile browsers, and game. For example, Bigo app collects and shares device IDs without the appropriate label in the data safety section. A really interesting case study, and the most ironic one, is that we found that even Google applications have discrepancies too. We found 24 applications with data share discrepancies and 31 applications with data collected discrepancies. Overall, 47 out of 99 Google apps had at least one discrepancy. For example, the default phone number, user request location updates without the location label in the data safety section. So these discrepancies are a result of the loopholes. However, we believe that users have to know everything about their data and who can access them. Even if a server accesses users' data, for example, ephemerally, users can't verify that their data will be removed after the access. So they rely on companies' good faith, and this is an opportunity that companies may exploit. So we send a report to Google through Developer Data Protection Reward Program, and they suggest to submit our report directly to Android security team. So we send our report of research findings and video demonstrations to Android security team, and they respond that they will conduct an investigation and share their findings with us. And since today, we're still waiting for their feedback. In conclusion, we found discrepancies in 80% of applications, and the issue persists after an entire year. The data safety section became mandatory. So Android's data safety section contains inaccuracies and cannot be trusted. Additionally, we found severe violations in data safety policies and policy governing consent requirements. So Google relaxed policies confuse the users and the developers, and invasive entities may surreptitiously exfiltrate personal data without the user's knowledge or consent. Therefore, our findings indicate a dire need for information to ensure that all data collected or shared is disclosed without exception. You can find our data at this specific link. Thank you very much.